They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
I'm gonna save you.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
Can Subaru Natsuki survive being isekaied into Morrowind? Definitely, right? But the real question is, can I survive playing Morrowind as Subaru Natsuki without losing my shit? Probably not. But fuck it sounds like fun, let's just try it anyway. Anyway, the goal is to make the closest approximation to Subaru that we can, and then try to beat the main story using him. Also, here are a few extra rules just to make things more interesting. Number 1, he cannot learn new spells or abilities. I can make newer, better versions of his skills as he levels up, but anything he doesn't currently have as of Season 3 of the anime, I can't learn. With a few exceptions. Rule number 2, must play on the hardest difficulty. Rule number 3, I can make safety saves for crashes or if I need to eat or sleep or whatever, but I can't go back to them if I die or if I get kicked out of a guild or something like that. If I mess up, I have to live with the consequences, and if I die, I have to return to a checkpoint just after I completed a main story quest, just like Subaru's Return by Death ability. Rule number 4, no shop abuse. I can buy things if I need them, but I can't power level my alchemy or stuff like that. Rule number 5, I have to behave the same as main arc Subaru, so I can't just go around murdering people. Even if they attack me, I have to use lethal force as a last resort, unless they are a member of the witch's cult, in which that is fair game. Also, even though I, as a player, know where a lot of cool, powerful stuff is, I can't go get it unless someone mentions the place specifically, or I happen to stumble upon it. Alright, before we get into character creation, let's go over Subaru's main abilities.
I'll call it Return by Death.
Number 1, Return by Death. Like I said, this gives him the ability to save and then return to specific checkpoints. How this will work in the game is I will make a save after every main story quest I complete, and then I'll only return to those points. Number 2, Invisible Providence. Subaru controls the unseen hand of Sloth, sort of. He can use it to pick things up and move them around, so this will work just like telekinesis does in Morrowind. He can also make it become intangible, but that doesn't really work in Morrowind, so we'll just ignore that. He can also use it as an attack to punch his enemies. Nothing like that really exists in Morrowind, so we can just make him a weak destruction spell and call it that and then use our imaginations. Maybe I'll edit in a hand every time I use the ability or something like that. Also, Invisible Providence starts very weak and grows in strength the more Subaru uses it, so we can just make a newer, better version of Invisible Providence every 10 destruction levels. Alright, skill number 3, Corleones. Okay, so this one's kind of complex, so forgive me if I simplify it too much, but I just don't want to explain the whole thing. Basically, it lets him share burdens and damage with his allies, as well as know the locations of his allies. There's more to it than that, but just watch a lore video or something if you really want an explanation. Now, as far as knowing the locations of his allies, sure, I could use a detect spell, but it does specifically have to be allies, and the person also has to consider him an ally. But what we could do, since the spell is fairly common in the Elder Scrolls universe, we could just say that he has an affinity for detection magic, and we could have him start with Detect Creature and learn new detection spells as he levels. This does kind of break Rule 1, but Detect is pretty bad, except for Detect Magic item, but that's only good at high levels anyway, so it's not really a big deal, it's not going to break the game. Now, as far as sharing burden and damage with his allies, I have an interesting fix for this, but I'll talk about it later during character creation. Alright, special ability number 4, Spirit Affinity and Spirit User. This is obviously just going to be Conjuration, though I should mention, because someone may complain if I don't, that he is contracted to an artificial great spirit named Beatrice or Bayako. This prevents him from making contracts with other spirits, but this actually works because you're not actually contracting the spirits that you conjure in Morrowind, and they only stay around for a short time, so it's like borrowing a spirit, so it's not a contract. We could also just say that all of his spirits that he's summoning are Bayako. It'd be kind of funny to edit in Bayako every time I summon Ancestral Spirit or something. I don't know, we'll see if I want to do that.
It would appear that you are quite the imbecile, I suppose.
Alright, number 5. He can also use Yin magic. Except he can't, because his gate is all fucky-wucky, so he can't actually use the magic without his great spirit. But she saps the mana from him. It's a whole complicated thing. I don't want to, once again, just watch a lore video if you don't understand how it works. But also, just trust me when I say that functionally, this works the same as the Atronach birth sign. Not literally, but functionally. In fact, it actually almost works the exact opposite as the Atronach, but fuck it, whatever, he's Isekaied into another world. We can just say that when he got transported, his shit got flipped and now his gate works and blah blah blah, who cares? Okay, with all that being said, let's make Subaru. Let's go ahead and start with race. Shit, I'm gonna have to make a wood elf, aren't I? You could argue that Argonians and Khajiit are worse, but that's like arguing what's better, a hot dog that fell onto the ground or a hamburger that fell into the toilet. They're all bad. In fact, the character that matches the physical appearance of Subaru Natsuki the most is a female wood elf. Now, normally, playing a female character is very bad in this game. Well, it's not that bad, it's not a big deal, you can play as whatever you want, but if you're trying to make a powerful character, you don't tend to play female characters in Morrowind because their stats are worse. Just like in real life. Kidding. I didn't make the game, don't judge me. But yeah, female wood elves have the same stat as male wood elves, so that works out fine. We can just make him a female. Okay, moving on to birth sign. As I already said, Atronach. I do feel like some people may complain and say that Atronach is too OP of an ability, but the poor guy needs something good. I mean, he is a wood elf after all. Okay, moving on to skills. So I think the biggest thing people don't give Subaru credit for is that his unarmored skill has got to be like S tier. He literally fights like demigods and like super powerful creatures, giant monsters and stuff, and wins. Sometimes. So yeah, definitely taking unarmored. Okay, next is Conjuration. This is an easy choice. It's just gonna represent spirit arts. Now for Subaru's Yin magic, basically the way this works is it sort of encompasses alteration, illusion, and mysticism, or like parts of mysticism. So we could say he takes illusion as a main skill to start with Shamak, or Chameleon in this case, and then gets alteration as a minor skill and just doesn't have mysticism because all it really gives him is telekinesis anyway. Up next, I think it's fair to give him Sneak, not because he's particularly stealthy in the show, but because Shamak will work more like it does in the show if he has a higher sneak skill and will actually be useful. For his last major skill, I was thinking about giving him Speechcraft, but it's kind of useless at low levels, or at least by itself. You have to use a charm spell in order for it to be good. Then it's really good, but he doesn't have charm spells. So we could just say that his unique charisma allows him to bargain and get better deals, thus just giving him Mercantile. Also, I'm not going to use Creeper or the Mud Crab, just because it makes things too easy, so then Mercantile will actually be pretty good. For minor skills, we already have Alteration. We can easily give him Athletics and Acrobatics, I think that's fair. Now, he needs something to deal damage with, and unfortunately there is no whip weapon in the game. I looked for mods, I couldn't find one. So moving on to swords. I know he's not great at using a sword, but he has received professional training in swordsmanship, so I think it's fine for him to take Longblade. For his last skill, I'm going to take Destruction, specifically because we need the ability to cast his Invisible Providence, so we'll just go with that. For his specialization, he's kind of a slow learner at everything, but I think having an affinity for spirits and yin magic means magic is probably what he specializes in. For his two major attributes, the first is easy, that's willpower. He's literally died thousands of times, went a little insane from it, but picked himself back up. So yeah, willpower, that's easy choice. For the second, you could either argue agility or personality. Both of these would be a fair choice, but I'm gonna just go with personality because it'll make the game more difficult. Alright, and with all that being said, let's get into the gameplay. Although I would love to take this plate, Subaru Natsuki would not do that. Although the design on it is pretty cool, I've never actually looked at this before. I usually just take it and run away. And similarly, I cannot take any of this stuff. It would be nice to have a lot of money at the start, but it's against the rules. Unfortunately, the game forces me to take the healing ring from the barrel. Unfortunate, and nothing I can do about that, but we can return it to its rightful owner, so that's a good thing. I definitely think that's something that Subaru would do. Okay, since we're sort of kind of role-playing as Subaru, I can't just go to Biggest Dickus and start the whole Blades arc. I have to literally find somebody who tells me what to do. Here I have to go through all the dialogues to make sure I know where Balmora is, I know what a Silt Strider is, and on and on and on. So I can't just like go get divine intervention spells. I have to find somebody who tells me what they are. I can't do things that I don't know how to do, even though I as a player know how to do them. But anyway, moving on.
Speak freely, friend.
Okay, since I don't actually start with all of Subaru's spells and abilities, I'm going to have to use console commands to give myself money, go get the spells, make the spells, and then come back here to this point. Obviously, after I do that, I will destroy or throw all the gold I make on the ground, and then come back here and start with the exact same amount of gold that I started with. I believe it's 87 gold, but I'll put it up on screen right now so I can verify. So we'll just skip ahead to the point where I have all of Subaru's skills and whatnot, and then we'll start from there. Also, it is important to note that I forgot one of his abilities. It's the one where he uses fire to make stuff. I don't know, mana. He uses mana, sets mana spikes on fire. This will functionally work just like our hidden hand, so it's not that important. And he doesn't use it a lot in the show. Not that he really uses the hidden hand a lot, but whatever, I just forgot to do it. So if you're a purist, the game is ruined. I ruined everything. Run over, I lost. But if you don't give a shit, then whatever. All right, so this will be our... Shut the fuck up! All right, so this will be our starting point. I will make a save here. This is one of my permanent saves. I cannot start from any other save until I complete a main story quest. So here we go.
What is this about?
Shut. You know what? Here's your ring. Fuck off. Although I guess I'm not acting like Subaru Natsuki right now. Okay, something interesting that I've never actually done before in this game is talk to all of the people. I usually just look up what the fuck to do on a wiki. I mean, my first time playing back in the day, I definitely talked to a lot of people, but it's really annoying, right? Like, having to just read and read and read and read. But that is something I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to actually sit here and talk to people. I won't read through everything, but I will point out major story developments or things that I learn along the way and thus can implement into Subaru's playthrough. So I did end up talking to Eldefier, and she informed me that mud crabs are bad and I should stay away from them, so I do think that that's fair enough to say that Subaru will not just randomly wander off into the swamp and start killing mud crabs. Normally that's what I would do, is just slaughter mud crabs and level up my endurance, but I can't do that.
Yes, Bosnia.
So it is kind of interesting to play the game in a way that I haven't played the game before. So I wandered around Seydenine for a while, explored the shops, was contemplating whether or not I should actually try to fight some mud crabs, realized I probably shouldn't, and then decided the only real clue I have to go on is the instructions to go to Biggest Dickus's house in Balmora, so I just left on a Silt Strider.
Special trip just for you. Same low price. We make a special.
Okay, getting to Balmora. Now, I caught myself just wandering straight to Caius Biggest Dickus's house. But I can't do that. I don't know where he's at, and I don't remember who I have to talk to get the clues on where he is, so I have to ask around and find out where the fuck Caius Biggest Dickus is, even though I know exactly where he is. This is a little bit frustrating, but on the plus side, even if I die, this is progress. Once I find out where Caius Biggest Dickus is, I am allowed to just go to him. I already know exactly where he's at, which is an interesting, form of progression. It's like playing the game as if you're a new player. It's weird, but fun. I don't know, I'm enjoying it. And also hating it.
Speak up!
Jesus Christ, lady. I couldn't remember. Okay, so I figured it'd be fair to go to a pub or a bar to ask around for information and stuff. That's some pretty common trope in RPGs and stuff. They don't know where he's at here, but I could just go to the different pubs and bars. I did ask everybody and make sure that every single person didn't know who the fuck Biggest Dickus was before going to the proper place. You know, I don't think I've ever actually been into the Lucky Lockup. There's a lot of bars. The main industry in Balmora is bars. There's 7 of them, I swear. Okay, so we finally found the south wall. Now we just need to find Biggest Dickus. She does not know where he's at for some reason, but someone named Bacola Closius? Yeah, okay, whatever. The owner of this place knows where he's at, so I spent some time looking for him, but didn't bother checking upstairs. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? Stop it.
Wish to speak?
Not him, not him, not him, and not him. Where the fuck is this guy? Double check, and double check. Definitely not him.
I shouldn't have pushed so hard.
Jesus, dude, what a weird thing to say. And found him.
You want something, friend?
Okay, the directions he gives are pretty bad, but I think they do give, like, reasonable directions to where he is at. I think the first time I ever did this, I got kind of lost, like, looking for him, even with the directions, which is a theme that we'll see often in this fucking game. People give bad directions. But I think that's fair enough to say, okay, we got the directions, now we can go to where he's at. I'm not gonna wander around and pretend like I don't know, even though that's literally what I'm doing right now. Whatever, let's go. Moving on. And we found him, so we will speak to him and then make a save. Biggest Dickus tells us that we're too much of a bitch and need to go get some levels, so that is going to be a bit of a problem. In order to complete our next checkpoint and complete this main story quest, we have to literally gain 2 levels. This might actually be our hardest arc in the game, aside from like beating main story people, because I'm not really going to grind levels, so other than here, this is like the one part where I have to actually grind 2 levels. On the plus side though, Biggest Dickus does give us $200 and tells us to go buy some gear. I don't know if Subaru would immediately go buy armor and weapons and stuff. Armor really isn't his thing, but if I do need it, I will give it a try. Although at low levels, armor really doesn't have much of an effect. And there we go, that is save 2. If we die, we can now restart from this point. I'm sure that won't happen often though. So Caius Cosades, I'm getting bored with calling him Biggest Dickus, so Caius Cosades tells us to go join the Mages Guild, Thieves Guild, Imperial Cult, which I think we've had enough of cults, and we're not going to do that, so we'll try the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild. Although I did have to join the Mages Guild in order to make the spells, but we'll just pretend like I didn't and join the Mages Guild. It's not like there's any requirements to join, they'll just let anybody in. Now, I would love to take from the Fighters Guild chest and the Mages Guild chest, but I don't think anywhere in the game do they tell you, like, I've really tried talking to everybody trying to say, hey, take the supplies if you want them, but they don't say that. I think at least at first I should not do that, but after a while we can assume, okay, Subaru has spent like an amount of time with these people, so he probably has had conversations with them and then eventually knows, oh, hey, you can use the stuff from that chest, it's not a problem. But I think at first it's only fair that we don't do it, because it doesn't ever tell us that we can, so... So with that, we join the Fighters Guild and are told to go kill some cave rats. Rats are simple, easy creatures to kill. We should be able to do this, right? I mean, I as a player know that this is a death sentence, but Subaru doesn't know that, so I'm going to go try and kill some fucking cave rats. I'm sure this won't end horribly. I did spend some time at least looking for a sword that I could use. I think that's fair that Subaru would go in with at least a weapon, but as you and I both probably know, that's not going to really help him. This is just a death sentence, so... But eventually I did find the Razor Hole. Could have named it anything other than that, but you named it the Razor Hole, and found an affordable steel saber and decided to go with that. Alright, with our new weapon acquired, let's go die to some fucking rats. Alright, here we are at Draranianthelis? Sure.
What a profoundly irritating and aggravating man you are, I suppose.
Okay, Bayako is smacking him. Not too bad. And she's dead, and oh god, yep. I knew that was gonna happen, but that's okay.
How can I help you?
Alright, I don't think there's anything I can really do to prepare better for that fight, but I don't think Subaru would give up after just one death, right? So I do give it a few more tries, go back, rejoin the Fighters Guild, get our orders, talk about the cave rats. Alright, and we head back to What's Her Name and try again. I don't really know that there's anything we can do other than buying armor to prepare better, but I do think we definitely could have at least tried Invisible Hand, so we are going to try that. Summon Bayako, and use our Invisible Hand on the rat. The final boss level rat.
Betty has had just about enough of you.
Okay, it's going better. Going better. Just need to not fail. Okay, we can do this. And, yep, one shot. Yeah.
How can I help you?
Okay, so we rejoin the Fighters Guild, get our orders, talk about the cave rats, and I think I'm going to actually get some armor this time and see if that actually helps. Probably not, but whatever, let's give it a go. I didn't notice it at the time, but that actually lowered my armor rating, so this is not going to help at all. I think that's because my skill in light armor is so low that it just doesn't do anything. Alright, and
Yes, Outland.
talk to her once again. Yep, you got a cave rat problem, don't worry. We'll eventually get this. Okay, Bayako, let's do this.
think it's time to teach you a lesson, I suppose.
What do you want?
We did it, Baeko! Alright, now we just need to do that again. Now, knowing Subaru, he probably wouldn't heal. I thought about it. I thought, well, I could wait, but then a Witch's Cult member might show up. Yeah, so we just do it.
How can I help?
Okay, we gave it the old college try. And to be honest, I just don't think that at this level we would be able to kill 2 rats at the same time. It might take us literally days to do so, like leaving and doing a tiny amount of damage, leaving, coming back, or resting and then coming back. So I figure, you know what, he also gave us the option of joining the Mages Guild, so let's go try to do some Mages Guild quests. And we'll come back to this after I gain the 2 levels. I think we'll be able to do it, probably even after 1 level, right, depending on what we level up. So enough Fighter Guild shenanigans, let's just join the Mages Guild. Alright, let's talk to Ajira. She wants mushrooms. Now I do have to... I, as a player, know where to find mushrooms, but Subaru does not, so... This ends up being way more difficult than it actually should be, because, like everybody in this game, they are really bad at giving directions. Ajira tells us to go to the Bitter Coast. The easiest way to go is south along the River Odai. Okay, that's pretty good. Until you see a wooden bridge across the river. Get out of... What the fuck does that even mean? Get out of the river there and find a path west over the hills? That's not really... Like, honestly, the easiest way to get there is just to follow the river and, like, the whole thing about the bridge. But, you know, whatever, it's fine. Well... We will follow her instructions and get fucking lost. Okay, this is the River Odai. Easy enough. Oh man, if only we could take these flowers right here.
Do you like flowers?
No! Although it is important to note that Subaru has spotted some flowers here, so whenever Ajira does give us the flowers quest, we can just return here. We don't have to go to Pelagiad. Oh look, more flowers.
Do you like flowers?
No! Funny enough, I think I'm actually following the first route I took when I did my original blind playthrough of this game. And I think there's a quest here that I don't really want to do. But I definitely think Subaru would help this person, so let's see. Oh yep, sure enough, there she is. Now this quest isn't difficult or anything, I don't have to fight anything, it just, you have to walk a long way, and I don't really have time to do that. I need to go find some fucking mushrooms, but I think Subaru would help her. She needs to get to a holy place. It's in the Fields of Cum. The Fields of Camu. This brings up another point. If somebody doesn't mark something on my map or give me directions, then I don't really think I should be able to use my map, but the fact that she does, I think, is fine for me to look at my map. And in doing this quest, this will actually lead us to another quest that I don't particularly want to do. Once again, not because it's difficult, but just because it takes time and we gotta get them mushrooms. Mari Armin, I don't care how to pronounce it, she got robbed by a bandit named Nilos. And she's hot for him now, wants us to deliver her glove to him and say that she likes him. I do like this quest, I always do it if I'm in the Pelagiad area. I do offer to help, but I am going to finish the side quest that I'm already on before I do it, and decide to equip her glove just because. I didn't actually think you could equip a single glove. Oh no, my arch nemesis, the rat. Yeah, that's how long this takes. It's already dark. Or it's already almost dark, and we gained a level in athletics. That's how fucking far this lady was from her destination. Alright, we finally made it here, but I don't see any fields, nor do I see any cum, honestly. But thank God I don't see the last part. Alright, there we go. Now, normally this quest would be pretty much a giant waste of time. I mean, we do get 150 gold for it, which is nice. I mean, early on, it's requires no combat and gives us gold, so that's good. But also, as I was looking around, I noticed this house as well as a farm. Now, I don't think it's morally okay to take the crops from this guy, but I did end up talking to him, and I actually learned something incredibly useful. If we say a little advice, he mentions divine intervention. He talks about how it's an emergency exit and lets you carry a lot more loot. I don't know what that's talking about. I don't know, I guess you could have a bunch of loot, use Divine Intervention, go back, grab a bunch of loot, use Divine Intervention. But anyway, now we know kind of what Divine Intervention is and how useful it is, so no longer do I need to pretend like that spell doesn't exist. That's super useful. We could probably infer too that Almsivia Intervention does something similar and try it out. So now I am allowed to use Divine Intervention and Almsivia Intervention scrolls, which once again is a weird sort of progression that you don't normally experience, except if you're a new player, but I have to just pretend like I'm a new player. I don't know. It's weird. I'm having fun with it though. Now I was contemplating going back to Balmora, but there is a vicious evil cave rat in the way. But I decided, you know what? Why not? Let's give it another try. This one's out in the open, so we can actually kite it out a little bit more. And hopefully this doesn't restart us. Alright, Bayako, let's do it.
I don't want to see you again, I suppose.
And we did it! Alright, the way to Balmora is cleared, so of course I'm just gonna turn around and go the other way. I don't know why I decided to do this, but whatever. I guess let's just finish the glove quest real quick. I think I figured since I was in the area, I might as well just do it.
Dirt, 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 everywhere, dirt.
Piss, 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 everywhere, piss. Okay, returning to the scene of the crime, we do notice that Pelagiad is close, and since it is the closest, or really only town that's around here, I think it's fair to just follow the road, go there, and ask around, and see if anyone has seen Nilos. Alright, this Argonian doesn't know anything about Nilos, so let's move on, and luckily enough, the second person we talked to has seen Nilos. She directs us to the Halfway Tavern, which I already knew where he was, but hey, that's handy. Now Subaru knows where he's at. Sure enough, there is Nilos right where we knew he would be. I could go around asking everybody, hey, have you seen, but whatever, eventually I'll find him. It's fine, he's here. Fuck it, whatever. I'm not gonna pretend to be an idiot. I'm enough of an idiot as it is, so we talked to him, he gives us a note. I actually want to end up staying the night here because it is pretty late. It's not like an official rule, but I do want to try and like keep some kind of sleep schedule. Like I feel like if I just stayed up forever and ever, that would be kind of ridiculous. So I do want to try and get like 8 hours per night, or at least 6, you know? And hopefully I don't get attacked by the witch's cult in my sleep. Alright, we're safe. Let's go back and give her the note.
How fare thee, friend?
Okay, here we are. Give her the note. And she tells us she can hook us up with her friend, blah blah blah. I don't know, I've never followed up on this. Maybe I will in this game. Bernard Errol? Barnand. What kind of name is that? Okay, and now that we have our 2 good deeds done, let's go back and try and find some fucking mushrooms. I think the best way to go is just the way that we came so we can get back to the river, since clearly we just went the wrong way, right? It's not really a big deal. It's not like we're gonna get attacked by anything, so we should be fine. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, apparently this is Cliff Racer. Bayako. Jesus Christ. This might be it. Okay. Dealing damage. Failed. Okay. Don't die, no. Jesus. Okay. We're doing it. Jesus. We gotta run. Right, no, hit the button, do this thing. Okay.
Just get out of here this instant!
Whew. Okay, I honestly did not know that there were monsters on this route. Jeez.
Your hands have stopped shaking, so you can more easily disguise your fear now, I suppose.
I did take a lot of damage, so I ended up deciding to rest for a while and risk the witch's cult. Just resting until I'm healed. I don't have any potions or anything yet, so... But once again, we luck out and no witch's cult. I eventually made my way back to the bridge that Ajira told me about, and decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna follow the river. Like, pretty much everybody knows that if you follow a river, eventually you'll reach an ocean. Well, that ended at the perfect time. And sure enough, we make it to the Bitter Coast, and as we all know, there's mushrooms everywhere here, so I should be able to just wander around and find some fucking mushrooms. There's none here, but there is a worm. I should be able to kite this out, no problem. So long as I don't let it touch me, I think we'll be fine.
You've long exceeded your welcome here, so it's time for you to leave.
Oh, it is not taking damage. Come on. Oh, God. Oh, Bayako, need your help. doing? I don't know why I decided to try and punch it. Okay, sure enough, I can see some mushrooms in the distance, but I can also see some mud crabs, and I was told to avoid them. I do think it's fair to try and get some mana back here before I engage with them.
It feels rather vexing to be treated as a mere convenience.
Oh god, Jesus Christ, Bayako. I'm sorry.
Stay right there and don't you dare move.
Okay, let's try that again. Please don't kill me. We're kind of chancing it. This is really dumb. I shouldn't do this.
Ugh, you are so irritating.
Okay, good. Thank God it worked that time, and now we just run. Sorry, Bayako.
Shoot.
Okay, she's gone. Alright, and then I chance once again, getting attacked by the witch's cult, and now it's midnight or something. Funny enough, I don't even end up fighting this mud crab. I just wanted to be prepared for if I did have to fight the mud crab. Perfect. And that's all 4 of them. And we're done. Don't even have to fight the mud crab, so I punched Bayako for no goddamn reason. And then I eventually made my way back to Balmora at 4 in the fucking morning. Although I did rest outside, so I figure that's fine for having my 8 hours of sleep. I did sleep more than that, resting after getting punched in the face by Bayako. And gained a level in athletics, so that's good. 8 more levels and we get to level up. And then just do that again, and then we're finally done and can save the game. Shit, this is gonna take forever. Made my way back to the Mages Guild, talked to Ajira, told her I have her mushrooms, yes, here they are, and asked for more oh, sweet, 4 cheap restore health potions. That's actually pretty awesome that I now have a way to heal myself, other than chancing getting killed by the witch's cult. Ajira tells me about the whole plan with the fake soul gem. Now, I am kind of opposed to doing things that I don't think...
Interesting.
I don't have your fucking soul gem!
Go on.
I am opposed to doing things that I don't think Subaru would morally do, but I think this is more of like a prank or a rivalry than it is like a thing. And I'm not going to steal any of this stuff up here. I'm just going to plant the fake soul gem. There you go, Shamok. Drop off the fake soul gem. And go back to talk to Ajira. It's kind of crazy how effective Shamok is at low levels.
How do you do?
I don't have your fucking soul gem. Alright, let's talk to Ajira, get more duties. And she wants us to get flowers.
What about now? Do you like flowers?
I don't hate them anymore.
But luckily, like I said, now Subaru knows where flowers are. Alright, so we make our way back, and sure enough, all the flowers we need are right here. Except for one, but we do know where some other flowers are. Uh-oh. Okay, we're good. And bam, stone flowers, the last one we need. Cool, so easy quest. We make our way back to Ajira without incident, and she tells us to go get a ceramic bowl. We get the bowl, talk about Daedric weapons for some reason, and then head back to Ajira. Ajira says, fuck that shit, my reports have been stolen, and then we have to find the reports. Now, I could wander around pretending like I don't know where the fucking reports are, but I know where the fucking reports are, so let's just pretend like I did that and grab the reports and go on with our days. Okay, with that being done, we are done with Ajira, essentially. I then head back to Ajira, and she tells us to go to Alderaan? Something like that? And talk to Edwin Elbert. So we make our way to Alderaan. Alderaan? I don't know. I don't care. Alderaan? I'm gonna call it Alderaan. And luckily, the first person we see is Alberta. Is that her name? Edwin Elbert. And she wants us to go get the Chronicles of Narnia. While I'm here, I decide to pick up some scrolls, specifically Divine Intervention, because I've heard about it, and because I know it'll be fucking useful. Now, we do know that Chronicles of Narnia is a book, so we're going to have to look for a bookstore. Now, I know exactly where this is at. There's one in Balmora, which I have seen, but I think it's fair that Subaru would want to take a look around a new town. He hasn't been here before, so, like, why not, you know? And honestly, I don't really spend a lot of time here myself. I actually stopped by the Alderaan Fighters Guild to see if I could get a different order other than fucking dying to cave rats, but I don't think I can until later on. And sure enough, Perseus Mercius. Really? Perseus Mercius. Okay, whatever. Sure enough, he won't give us any quests until we get a higher rank, which we can't because we'll just die to cave rats anyway. So let's take a look around. I've actually never been into a lot of the buildings in here. It's not something I usually do. Like this building, I've never been in here before. I've never experienced any of this. Join the Thieves Guild. I've never really liked the Thieves Guild. I do know that there's like a huge contradiction between the Fighters Guild and the Thieves Guild, so... But I figured, why not? Like, it's not gonna hurt just to join, and then maybe I can find some orders that are good. I don't know, I've never done this before, so... Okay, so This is the guy we need to talk to, Aganoth the Jeweler. And Aganoth the Jeweler gives us a task to steal from the Mages Guild. He says it's left unguarded, but I immediately don't want to do that, so I just won't do it. I think it'll be fine. And ignore any of the further Thieves Guild quests. I look around Alderaan for a while just to see if there's a bookseller, and eventually I do find one, but he does not have a copy of the Chronicles of Narnia, which I already knew, but now Subaru knows that. Although Codis Kalanis does tell us that we could probably find a copy in Vivec, although I will try Balmora bookstore because I know where it's at, or because Subaru knows where it's at, and also because I personally know that it is there, so there's no reason why I should not find it there. But before that, I do make a quick pit stop in order to buy my favorite helm in this game. The Redoran Watchman's Helm. I've always liked the way this looks. It's like a little mushroom for your head. It's like a little mushroom for your head. I don't know that Subaru would like it, but I like it, and if I get the chance to wear it, I'll wear it. Okay, with my shopping all done, I make my way back to the Mages Guild in order to fast travel back to Balmora and get the Chronicles of Narnia. Wait, what the fuck? Just because I accepted the quest? Are you... No. This is a death. I'm gonna lose so much. Yeah, so I was completely unaware that accepting that quest from the Thieves Guild will immediately make you aggro with the Mages Guild. But hey, I learned something, Subaru learned something. We won't do that going forward. I know that this does seem pretty dire, like we've made no progress going forward, but that is part of the challenge. Sometimes I have to repeat a bunch of shit, so hopefully this does not continue to happen in the future. Anyway.
Oh well, anyway, live strong.